of us could relate to, right? I mean, it's people have the tendency to want to make their assessment. That's the word manipulation. People will make assessment based on whatever, and that assessment is based on what? On history, right? So their perception was, this shall go away because we have seen so many of those things come and go, and so their first determinations is this sun shall go because you'll get distracted by something else. So every time we're trying to drive a change and we hit that first line of resistance, okay, what's coming on the other side is what we have to really understand, which is the first one is perception and history, right? Perception and history, that's the first thing we're going to hit. And so part of the assessment of the terrain is to understand what's the history of what people are coming from as the starting point, and don't assume that, so if you're going to do another project, you're not only doing that project, you're doing that project and all 100 projects that were rolled out before, and now the perception is against them. So we'll talk about that. When you think about the person, we're going to talk about what we call the news, which is their needs, wants, and their stereotype, their background thinking and listening, and how do we work against that. Okay? And then what was the other one? The other one would be their emotions, right? So you don't only hit, so that first line, second line is emotions. You're going to hit that. People will hang on to what they're used to and that's familiar than the things that's not familiar with. Marcia will talk about how do we really understand that it actually works in the reverse. People are not resisting the future state of what you bring, they're resisting the current state of letting go. So, what else? Other experiences with change? Or if then, what would you like to learn today specifically about change?
I think what I've learned a lot of, it's always changing. It's a constant state
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
So when you sell yesterday's change, so this is what we need to do and get that buy-in, setting the stage to understand that was right then, now we're going to move to this. And getting people to understand it's that continuous improvement track we're on. We have to reinvent ourselves, not 100%, but to a certain degree every year,
Right.
to keep people wanting to be members of the chamber. So how to get people to understand this isn't a wasted effort, it's building foundationally what we're going to continue to work on and have them excited, because some people want that security. Tell me where I need to be, tell me what I need to do. If I come in every day for the next 20 years to do the exact same thing, I'll be a happy client. We don't have that kind of world, not even for like the accounting department. It's going to be different. How do we keep that going?
And you guys remember the conversation last time about the why, the what, and the how and the what?
That's the golden circle.
Right,
The
the golden
TED
circle,
video.
right?
Yeah.
It's the same conversations we're gonna have today. We're gonna really now deep dive into this conversation, right? Because why is the central part of this whole thing? And so what we need to talk about is how to get them excited, right? Not about the chamber, okay? So it's not about the chamber because the chamber is here. Is that fair? We have to get them excited about what's in it for them.
I wonder if what you're talking about is on the 80-20 rule, the 20%, and how to deal with that. I mean, it's always a formidable, opponent. Some people are always going to be that way, and you have to deal with it. So I think some talk about how to deal with that 20% that really can be frustrating.
Right. And then what were the terms we used before? The mojos and the nojos. Right? And what today really now, we're going to combine a lot of the things that we have talked about before. Because if this is 20%, Okay, this is still, you know, a light terrain, you know, maybe the next terrain over. Okay, but what happened if you're dealing with this one, where it's really a 60% against it, right? And that's completely, so now you're encircled. So now how do I navigate through that? So we're going to talk.
In my experience, every organization I've been in, that 20% is usually the most tenured, most trusted, most valued employees. They've been here for a long time.
Right.
The legends.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to talk about today is, first, you have to make an assessment of, can they really resist and impact the outcome or not? And then you have to kind of decide how you're going to recruit these people to help you. See, the power of the leader is not what are you going to do. It's what are you going to have other people help you do. Because you can't. The math doesn't add up. 1 against 60 or 1 against 20 just won't work. So what you have to do as a leader is, how do I get those other 20 or 30 or whatever I have on this side to really help me through this? What's the strategy, right? Remember the other videos? The king gained a strategy, and it was worth 10,000 soldiers. It's because if I can manipulate these situations and tilt it to my side, you know, now that's worth it. Yes.
I have, I guess, an example that, you know, all these things that are being said, I'm, you know, processing through a little bit.
You're living through it.
So it has to do with trying to create a joint vision for the department, which I'm just a player and not the official player. But our chair at one point really wanted there to be some sort of a joint vision for our department and having strategic initiatives and things like that. And he did a lot to try and make that happen. I mean, he brought us together and had us do a retreat and had us try and come up with what are our strengths. We went through a lot of what you're saying, right? You know, this is your day. At the end of the day, you know, everybody's doing what they do. There's no cohesive vision. Okay, so, and I think, you know, about your whole question about mojos and no-jos, and how do you get, you know, people to have that joint vision? How do you create that joint vision?
Yeah, that we're going to talk about that today. How do you really create it and get to that level that is truly joint? Okay? But are you willing to take? Because I know your work. Are you willing to take 50% and call it joint? We live in an environment that consensus is 100%. And you just, let me tell you right now, is you just fighting a battle you're not going to win. You're not going to be able to find a common for 100% of the people. People say, yeah, I'm there.
So do you, in that instance, because you know that's reality is you're never going to get everyone. So you go 3/4, you go to, you know, what?
Yeah,
What
well,
have you seen happen?
that's
I've read
the
the article.
Yeah, but that's the determination. We're going to talk about that the power of the 60% that's always the silent majority
Yes.
is really the power of this whole thing. You will always be handed 20%.
So if you get the critical mass in the, because you already have the 20%, you get critical mass, boom, the rest is going to go.
Wait, so
If they're not
I'm
good.
jumping ahead. All right, so you will get the 20-60-20 rule. And it's the 20-60-20. So what?
What was that?
Right. So the 20-60-20, and you saw a different version of it in the video where we're talking about the adoption of technologies, right? And he broke them with the early adopter versus late adopters. We tend to, from a change perspective, say 20-60-20. The 20% are the mojos that get it, that the early adopters, that they will look at you and say, why are you still talking about it? Why don't you just, can we do it, right? They're so frustrated that you're not acting. Then you get the 20% that are the no-Joes. And they're the people who, no matter what you say or what you do, how beautiful you are, how good looking, and how excellent this thing, you will say no. Because they're just protecting the current state and what get them in that situation, okay? It's what I care about, and the change is the silent majority. That's what I care about, okay? Because here's what happened. Me, the leader, where is my 80% of my time spent? I'm spending it all here. Because I am especially in healthcare, I'm a fixer healer. I gotta fix everybody. And so I take all my effort and energy and time saying, oh, no, I know you just, let me just explain it to you one more time. Let me tell you what is it in it for you. Oh, okay, well, you know what, let's just have one more meeting about this. Oh, you know, let's just, and all of us are smiling because we all have done it.
Use the good word.
Yeah, okay, well, I understand where you're coming from. Let's just have one more conversation around this. And you're just beating yourself against the wall and just, okay. And so we spend 80% of our time here. Well, what are those people doing while you're spending 80% of your time here?
They're saying you're spending time in the wrong place.
No, they're not saying that.
They say no.
What are they doing to get so much attention? I'd like to-
Yeah, there you go.
Just tell them to go over
They're
there and
saying, they're saying if you're spending your time here, there must be something going on. So let's just wait and see what's going to happen. Because you're the leader. And if you're the leader and spending all your time here, there must be something here.
Worthwhile.
And these are the loudest, so they're already hearing their issues. So they're sitting here and saying, and those are the silent majority in the room. They're just kind of going like this and saying, okay, well, let's see what's going to happen. Right? And so the dynamic is these people are waiting. These people are just getting the heck frustrated out of this whole thing. And you not only lose these people, you lose these people.
I've seen problems, the mojo people, they buy in instantly, and they know the goal, but they don't know the plan, and they go off half-cocked, and then the no-jos are going, see, look.
Exactly.
And
Because
there's
these
easy
people
to-
end up frustrated because you're spending all your time here. What I need you to do is just snap this thing and spend 80% of your time here. Because these people will say, oh, you're spending all your time here. And then now you recruit these people to help you get more of those people. You recruit those people to go help you with those people.
Stay with positive energy.
Stay with the positive energy. Go where you're going to win. Okay? Don't Sun Tzu, and I wish we brought the book back. Okay? He calls this the fortress or the well-entrenched cities. Okay? Chapter 3. Sorry, but the last thing you want to do is attack fortified cities. That's just dumb. Right? You don't go there. You go where you're going to win. Right? And you encircle them and you go around them. So today we're going to talk about those as a strategy. And you're going to have to literally, on that page, you have to put name by name of who's here, or here. Okay? Then you have to burn that